Hi guys, today we're going to be assembling the deluxe arch snow thrower cab from Classic Accessories. First thing you want to do is take all the parts out of the box and find a nice level work surface to work on. You can do this on the floor, or I'm going to use this workbench here. A and B are the forward parts of the subframe. Lay those out in front of you. And then part C connects those two with these little spring clips. You just insert in, press down on the clip, and it pops back and locks it in place. There's two parts labeled D. These go at the back end. Clip into place. Now you've got your subframe all assembled. The black wands labeled E insert into each of the four uprights. Then these little X-shaped parts labeled F go into the top of the fiberglass wands. There's a larger diameter hole and a smaller diameter hole. The larger end goes down and slides over the ends here like that. And now you're ready to start assembling the arches. The forward arch is labeled H. You can see the ends of a couple of the poles have these plastic covers over them. Those just help hold things in place when you're assembling it. Find the wand without the plastic tube on it. Set that aside. You're going to assemble that last. And assemble them together. And what you want is you want to end with a long wand with two metal ends at each end. So bend that into the arch and insert it into the frame. Okay, now we'll assemble the rear arch. And again, find your wand without the plastic tube on it. And assemble the full length of the wand. Okay, before you insert this into the frame, you need to run it through the tunnel on the skin of the enclosure. So on the back edge that comes around here, there's a tunnel sewn in. You're going to slide, pull through, and get it about centered. Grab your wand and bend it into the arch. Get that installed. Pull the skin over the front of the frame. Get it centered into position, and then you're going to take these back corner pockets, slide them over the frame. Okay, this time we're not going to install the front corner pockets. We're going to do that after we've got it installed onto the snow machine. Okay, the next step is to install the uprights onto the snowblower itself. That consists of this mounting hardware and these bent tube uprights. These slide on. And the first part of this process is to establish where you're going to mount it onto the snowblower handlebar frame. Now I could go down here. This works pretty well. But when I look across, I can see, that's going to put my snowcab sitting right on top of this control bar here. So I think that's going to be a little bit too low. I could go up here above this horizontal bar. That would work just fine, but it's going to mount my cab up high, and that's going to cut down on some of the coverage. So in this case, on this particular machine, I'm actually going to mount my mounting hardware on this horizontal crossbar like this. You can see I've already got one installed. I'll go ahead and mount the other one. The mounting hardware consists of these U-bolts and these pads. You want to start by taking a pad and putting it on the back side of this base plate here, and then put the U-bolt around the snowblower frame. When you're doing this, be aware that there's a lot of little cables, either the cable actuators or the electrical cables that run up to the console here. Make sure you haven't pinched any of those when you put that clamp around. Then grab a washer and one of the nylock nuts, thread that on. Get the second one on. Then you can either use an open-end wrench or a socket wrench. Actually works best to just start drawing these up tight and just start snugging them up. The next step is to install the bent tube upright. Now, this can either go this way or this way, but if you position it so that the screw heads are towards the outside, it's just a little easier to get your tools in there and work on it. So again, I'm just going to get this snugged up. Okay, I've got my upright bars mounted on. I'm now going to put the mounting clamp heads on. These are both labeled L. You just slide in. And go ahead and get them snug at this point. Okay, now installing the cab. I'm just going to bring it over and just kind of let it lie there like this for now. Put a bolt through, nut and the washer on the back. Something on this side. And now I'm just going to get this somewhat centered and snug up all four nuts and bolts here. Okay, once I've got this snug, now I can start to position this where I want it to be, start getting the angle into position. And then really tighten things up. Okay, I've got the cab installed now. What I want to do is just kind of position it so that the base frame is horizontal to the ground, so that things are centered here. I've got it kind of looking good, and at this point, I'm just going to go back around and snug up all the bolts on all the fittings. So the head bolts, the clamp bolts here, and then these bolts on each of the uprights. That'll lock everything in place. The final activity is to just pull the skin up around the frame of the base frame. Just stretch it down and pull it around, and you should be all good to go there. Then there's just some Velcro tabs inside the cab that help secure it. So there's a tab down here and on the opposite side, wrap those around the frame. And then there's 2 more tabs on the inside that just wrap around the forward pole to hold that in place as well. And there you have it. You should be all set to hit the weather.